Welcome to Nameless Debate Radio, where radioactivity is contagious. You can join us in broadening our minds on the Nameless Debates Discord via the link below, and even feature here yourself, if you've got what it takes.
Alright, so do you want to give me, your rough understanding of free will?
Okay, dude, I want to grab my fucking plate of food. Do you have like a couple seconds for me to grab some food?
Yeah, that's fine, dude.
Okay, I'll be right back, dude.
What's up, Zychron?
Nothing much. I'm getting ready to.
Yo, is this gonna be worth listening to, or should I just start reading? Because I kind of want to read my.
Oh,
book,
I mean,
but at the
I
same
always,
time, I don't.
as far as I can tell, I always win this debate. So it's up to you, really. I've had this one dozens of times.
What debate is it?
Free will versus determinism.
I'll give it like 30
The instinct
minutes.
is diamond. He's a diamond.
Well, you can win. You can win the debate if they agree with you epistemically. But
Yo, Zychron, yo, would you want to play Draw It with me?
Most people agree with me epistemically.
I feel like you would really enjoy it. Are you kind of like edgy?
Yeah,
He's
I
a bit
guess.
edgy,
Yeah.
Edgy.
You would really enjoy it. Just
No,
Here,
not right now, man. I'm a little busy, but maybe later.
all right. No, like you'll literally have like the most insane laughs. Like my friend, he's like really edgy.
Yeah, I
and
just
Wait,
I don't
dude.
have the time to dedicate to it. But yeah, what's up, Sync? We were talking about free will versus determinism. Yeah, like if somebody agrees
yes.
with your
No, he was having a
Sure.
discussion with the other guy. I think,
Yeah,
right?
no, but look, what my response to that was that most people agree with me epistemically, dude.
Well, is that
Dude.
is that a probabilistic claim, or is that a for
No,
sure?
that's
knowledge
like
claim?
observational. Like most people,
So it's
in
an
my
inference.
experience.
It's an empirical claim.
No.
I
I'm
see.
saying in my experience, most of the people I talk to agree with me epistemically.
So it's a probabilistic claim. It isn't an actual.
No,
solidified-
there is no probabilistic claim. I'm saying in my experience, more of the people I talk to do in fact agree with my epistemic model.
Okay,
Right? That's not
let's
probabilistic.
say that I walked outside, right,
All right, I'm back.
on Monday, and I saw a white swan, right, and then
I'm
walked
not making
outside,
an inference, mate. Nah, stop. I'm not making an inference.
and then I
Come on, guys, let's
walked,
go.
and then I
Dude,
walked
no,
outside.
Guys,
we're not talking
inference.
about
When he's
the
talking-
problem of induction. We are
Okay,
not
can I
talking
just
about the
listen to
problem
the
of
argument
induction.
between NC and Das? I want to read my book, and I'm gonna give
Well,
it.
I
30
feel like
minutes.
you're making
Okay.
a probabilistic claim, and I just want to make sure that
I know you
understand
feel
you're
like that,
making
but
a
I'm
probabilistic
look,
claim.
man. Like I'm here to talk to Daz about free will, not to you about what epistemology says.
Well, it's a fact that you're making a probabilistic claim, but you can go ahead. And
I
go.
mean, that's your opinion, though. So how about you
Oh
just
my
shush it
God.
now and we can talk
It
about it
isn't.
later.
Oh my god.
I mean, it literally is. You're giving me your fucking opinion.
No,
Okay,
it's
so Daz.
factually true.
Listen, shush.
Show how it is. I want to
Shush,
see.
shush,
But here we go.
Shush.
We might as well
Dad.
say
I want to hear both sides.
Yo,
Both sides.
Give me your
So-
opinion on free will, mate.
sorry if I like randomly delay before
No,
I
you're
talk.
good.
All right. My opinion of free will is the ability to make choices, even though, like, let's say you really want to do one thing, to be very vague,
Mhm.
and then you do something else, which gives you an
Mhm.
undesired result. I think the ability to do that is free will.
Undesired in what frame of reference, mate?
Like, do you mean like a specific example? Like,
No, like how do you decide that it's undesired? Like, is it
how do you
like
how do you decide that it's undesired? Because the result of the action will leave you, I don't know, feeling mentally less stable, like maybe
okay,
more
no, but
depressed. Maybe.
the question is like, so when do you decide that it was undesirable?
I guess that depends on the situation, right? Like,
No, but like generally, is it after the fact or before the fact?
I think before the fact.
Okay, but if you actually thought that it wasn't a good idea, you probably wouldn't do it.
Probably, but sometimes you will anyway.
No, I don't agree. I would say that sometimes when you do something that you think isn't a good idea, the reason you do it anyway is that you're not sure and you're testing it out.
Not sure and testing
What
it
about
out.
smoking?
You mean choosing to test it out?
No, I mean like you're programmed to test ideas. Smoking doesn't really count because it's addictive, man.
Okay,
Oh.
so do you... Okay. So then do you believe that we are some type of AI?
I mean, like, if you want, like, what do you mean by AI? We're definitely an I.
Like...
We evolved.
We're
like,
definitely
yes.
intelligent.
Okay,
We're not
like as in...
artificial.
Yeah, not
Like, yeah, let's say EI. We are
artificial.
EI. Evolved intelligence. Let's say that.
Okay, what I mean, I guess...
Or natural intelligence.
I mean, like, do
yes.
you believe that we are part
Functional.
of some type of simulation, like, program?
No,
Okay.
but functionally, we're basically equivalent to an AI because your biology maximizes fitness.
Okay. So you're saying that we do everything based on evolution and, like, genetic code?
No, I'm saying that you do everything based on the deterministic mechanics that make you up. Obviously, yes.
Okay, so you're saying that there's never a time... Okay, so you're saying that there isn't choice? And you're saying that
I'm saying
it's
that no. There is choice. There is not free choice.
Okay, not free of the constraints of being a human being.
No, not free at all. Not free of any, like, there is no freedom involved. Like, when you say choice, what I think you mean is a decision-making process wherein you're trying to calculate what you should do, and the way that you calculate it is always the same. You are doing what you think you should.
For what purpose? Survival or what?
For whatever purpose you have in mind, mate. But the point is
so
that no matter
you can
what
have a different purpose in mind?
Listen. The point is that no matter what purpose you have in mind, you calculate the same way. How can I best bring about my goal?
Okay.
It's always the same.
And so, like, what about people, like, going into a burning building and, like, trying to save lives and dying, even though their end goal was never to die in that fire?
Well, but their end goal is to save people, correct?
At that exact moment, when they decided it.
Yes, but the point is that they think that's exactly what they should do. They think that's the best decision. And
why is it that some people don't do that?
Well, because we have different values.
Values?
Yeah, like
so you think that values can be instilled upon somebody to run into a burning building, risking their own life to save others?
Of course.
And,
are you serious?
And
is that a real question?
Time out. And you think that it's impossible for someone to be raised upon these values and still not carry out that action?
I don't think you're following what I mean by values,
war?
my dude. You're not understanding what values are. You're thinking of values as like a societal construct.
Excuse me. I wanna.
Okay.
David, I will fuck you up, dude. Do you want to be muted for like a day?
Well, then can you tell me what you mean by values?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like the things you as an individual are programmatically valuing. So, for instance, right, like your eyes focus on what attracts your attention. And what attracts your attention isn't really up to you. They snap to the thing that seems interesting. That's what they're programmed to do. And in the same way, right, you value food, you value sex, you value sleep.
And you cannot overcome this no matter what?
No, I'm saying like you have an intricate hierarchy of values. And whenever one of your values isn't being attended to, it's because another one is.
Okay.
So like,
and you're
no matter what you do,
But you're saying that we don't have the decision within those constraints whether to do A or B, or C or D.
No. I'm saying, okay, so look, Here's what I'm saying. Okay, free will is properly defined as the ability to choose such that you could have chosen otherwise. Now, you do not have that ability because in every situation, you are choosing what you think is best for you. And if I put you in the same situation, the same moment in time, no memory, the same variables, and the same information, you would make the same decision every time because that is how you work.
Okay. So you're saying that things never just happen, like people that don't have the
Fucking
nature to be
A.
violent just happen to have a
Everybody,
violent outbreak.
huh? Everybody has the nature to be violent. We're animals.
I'm not saying that. Of course, everybody has the nature to be violent, or else we wouldn't have survived at all this long. But
So, like, there
besides
are
that-
no unconnected violent outbursts, though. They're all, like, people expressing the violent side of us that's always within.
Then what about the people that don't? They're deciding not to, or they just aren't
No.
wired the same as everybody else?
No. They're in such a situation that they conceive of the optimal option as not involving violence, mate. But if their life was put on the line, I'm sure that would change.
Okay. It's weird to me because, like, there's situations where people can have the same upbringing and you put them in that situation as somebody else.
Yeah,
same
but they have
upbringing.
different genetic information, right?
I guess, yeah, they have different genetic information. Which
Yeah, so I'm saying,
so-
like, who you are is both things. It's your experiences and your genetic information.
Okay, well, I guess maybe I'm just defining free will differently. I feel you have the decision to, like, go against your, like, I feel like...
No, but the only way that you can decide that is by, like, evaluating the decision as better for some reason. And you do have a reason every time, and the reason corresponds to something else you value that maybe you're not thinking about. So, for instance, when you make an impulsive decision, quote unquote, knowing that it is bad for you, actually, the part of you that is the impulse disagrees with the rest of you. The impulse thinks it's a fucking great idea. And to the extent that you gratify the impulse, so do you.
Mm-hmm. But what about when
There's nothing about that.
But what about when you fight
Pardon?
off an impulse?
No, but then you're saying, okay, impulses are not the optimal strategy in the long term because it's actually better to sacrifice in the moment to gain in the long term.
But wait, you're saying that's not a conscious decision not to follow through with impulses?
No? Are you serious? Yes,
So
it's a conscious decision. No, stop. It's a conscious decision. It's not a free decision, dude.
Okay, not a free decision. I guess I agree.
Yes. You're programmed to do that. You're programmed to pick what you think is best. And if your analysis is correct, if you take into account long term instead of just short term, of course you're going to sacrifice your impulses in the moment. And like mature adults can be seen to do that every day. No, but the thing is, the more mature you are, the more often you will sacrifice your impulses to do what you should. Isn't that correct?
That's generally true.
I mean, that is ubiquitously true. If
No,
you
that's
are
generally
responsible... No, listen, if you are responsible...
That's different than being older.
No, but I said... What? I said mature. What I meant by mature was not like old in age. I meant like having developed completely mentally.
Uh-huh.
That's what mature means. It doesn't mean old in age. Like when you say a wine is mature, you don't actually mean that it's very old. You mean that the fermentation process has been going on.
You don't have to go that far into it. I get it. But I feel as if like there's definitely people who are mature of the mind and then have breaks, psychotic breaks, traumatic experience.
Yes. I don't understand what that's supposed to show though.
I mean, I've already said that, like, your definition of nothing being free, I agree with, but I still, like, it doesn't.
But then free will, like, no, but it actually does. Like, if you admit that nothing is really free, that's checkmate. Free will is not possible anymore. Like, you have outlawed that move.
I guess.
Yeah, that is the end of the argument. That's the conclusion. You said freedom from things is impossible.
Freedom from things is impossible? You said it's
you can't be free from your deterministic mechanics. You can't be.
That's what you're saying, not me.
That is what you also said just now, man.
Yes.
Yes, so we agree free will does not exist.
Yeah, I agree that free will in your definition does not exist. And if that is the only definition...
My definition is the correct definition.
Okay, if it is the only definition and it is the correct definition, then I concede that I mean, it can't exist. I mean, you can't test
cool.
that it could exist anyway.
Cool. I'm happy with that.
I mean, I'm not going to say that it can't exist. I will say that I am 90%... I will concede to you.
Let me
I'm
put it
not
to you
going to
this way,
say that it can't exist. I will
Let me put it to
concede
you
to
this
you,
way.
though, because I can't prove that it can exist.
Let me put it to you this way. The illusion of freedom exists in your will. How about that?
Okay, well, I still have no way of proving or disproving that that is, like, true.
Well, it's deductively true. We already proved it. The argument that I walked you through, if you analyze it at length, will show you that that is the correct conclusion. Like, think about the way that the word free is defined. And then think about
I understand the
determinism,
way
right?
that the word free is defined, and I understand the
Yeah,
way
so
that
you
you're
can't.
saying
There
it
isn't
is...
another way to define it, though.
No, but I mean, the way I was looking at free will, I mean, I never looked up the definition of free will, but the way I was looking
I
at
know.
free will is the ability to go against impulses, to do things against your better interest.
Yes, but I'm saying that
better
isn't free
abuse,
will.
all that stuff. Like, okay, if it's not free, then it's not free. But I still believe that exists. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, are you saying the illusion of choice? Is that what you mean?
the illusion
Because that's what
of
I call
choice?
The illusion of
I don't
choice.
think it's really the illusion of choice.
You are a decision-making
If I
machine.
gave
You're
you
not
two
really
pills-
choosing. Dude, you are not
man.
choosing. Your brain chooses for you, and you don't get a say.
What does that
Then
mean?
how do we even think
means
about
that-
anything?
It means that your brain, like you, are a construct of your brain calculating what is best
How
to do. The
have
fact
we
that
even
you are...
gotten to this point?
Pardon?
How have we even gotten to this point as human beings if, like, we don't have the ability to make any choice, like, and it's just hard-coded into us, like, we're going to do it anyway?
Because what the fuck does that mean? Because you're programmed to do what's best for you. So over millennia...
But
wow,
what
do you
about
know?
people that don't do what's best for them? You're saying that something
trying to,
emotional...
mate.
Time out. You're
No,
saying
they're
that if somebody does something for the better of somebody else, even though it hurts them and they do it out of emotion, you're saying that that doesn't exist.
I'm saying they are trying to do what's best for them, and in their opinion, what's best for them is to be authentic to their value, which may well mean that they're willing to sacrifice something of them to help someone else out because they may value other people, but that is fundamentally their value, and that is why they act in that way.
So it's in humans' best interest to do things to help each other and not themselves.
Yes. In an evolutionary sense, yes.
Well, that's crazy because our world's completely
No,
fucked.
it's not.
It doesn't reflect that whatsoever.
Debate.
Dude, in tribal humans, which is how we evolved the ability, okay, it was helpful to help people in your group. Very goddamn helpful.
Of course it was.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
It's not helpful nowadays.
No, but the point is that is where it came from.
Okay, it may have come from that, but why is it not helpful still? And how did we develop a society? How did we develop into a society in which it's not helpful? If that's where we came from.
Stop, man. Come on. You have an appendix. The appendix gets infected a lot, and you don't need it. But you've still got one. Why do you still have one? Because you fucking evolved one, and you don't get to choose what you evolve with.
Okay. I don't think that's the same.
Dude, some things that were beneficial in the past, like the sort of selflessness you were describing, or an appendix, can be not useful now, but still in us, because they were useful when we were evolving the trait. And now we are just an evolution further down the line, and it hasn't gone anywhere. Because why would it?
Okay, so some people are being born without appendixes now.
Yes, over a long, long time. But you're saying why? No, but you're saying why is it that we have something today that is not useful.
Not
but
something.
really,
I'm saying,
But-
how is it that we got to the point
dude,
where
I
we've
heard you.
developed and lived in a society
I
that
don't even
doesn't
understand what you
favor-
think the question is. How is it that we got to the point where we lived in a world that doesn't favor us having an appendix, but we still have one? How?
An appendix, that's like a physical function of your body, and you're comparing
Yes,
that to...
correct. To
Okay.
evolutionary instinct? Correct. I am making that comparison. Very astute.
Okay.
It's exactly similar to an evolutionary mechanism. Like evolutionary biologists have studied, like
Okay.
selfless behavior in humans, we have determined that there would be a good reason for us to have developed it as an instinct, and the fact that we still have it now doesn't need further explaining, okay?
Okay. If you say so.
It being not useful now isn't relevant. It takes a long time to go away.
Okay, but I mean, people are being born without appendixes now. I mean, how long has it been since we ate bones?
Yeah, and it's been a long time. A long time. Look it up.
And okay, was that about the same time that tribalism was highly beneficial just to help each other?
Nope. Tribalism was instilled in us before that.
Okay, but we're talking about like from the point in which it would get to the point where it would go away.
No, but I'm saying like it's always helpful to be selfless with people who are actually in a kin group of yours. That's what a family is. It really does help you
What
survive,
about
mate.
okay, and then saving people that you have no idea who they are? What if they grow up to be a
That's just an
psychopath?
extension of the idea. That's just
The
an
idea?
extension of the idea. Yes.
It can't-
So people have values. These values can be translated into ideas. One of the ideas is put others before yourself. The reason that is an idea people have been talking about for a long time is it's good for you to do that. Because
I'm
when
talking
you foster
not
reciprocal
about-
relationships,
I'm not talking about simply
dude.
doing something for the better of somebody else. I'm talking about literally dying for somebody else that you don't know.
yeah, but you don't know you're going to die, mate.
There's
like people
times
who
where
go into
people go
burning
into
buildings.
situations and they expect to die, and they
Yes,
do it anyway.
and in that situation, they do it because they think that that is the most in-line option with their value system. If
Okay.
you value, for instance, your family's lives cumulatively above your
All
own,
you're
you may
basically
well
saying to
you may
me-
well sacrifice your life for them.
All that I like am basically getting out of this is that I'm a human being. I live on planet Earth. There's tigers, bears, water, and sharks. And I make decisions based on the fact that I live here. That's not surprising whatsoever to me.
Wow.
And I'm
If
not
that is
debating it.
honestly, man, if that's the nuance that you got from my argument, you need to learn to listen a little better.
You're saying nothing's free because this is the like constraint of evolutionary like track that humans have taken. We're going to be doing.
Yes.
Okay. So what I just said perfectly aligns with that. I don't understand.
No, it didn't. It was a caricature.
Okay, so if we lived on the moon, we would just live under different constraints, and we would act.
Yeah, look, these are bad counterexamples. You've given me like 3 bad counterexamples in a row.
Why is that a bad counterexample?
Because it's absurd. If we lived on
put
the
us on
moon,
another planet.
we would
Put us
float
somewhere
away.
else.
If
Make
we
it-
lived on the
okay,
moon, we would
there's
suffocate.
more water-
Don't make up
more water
absurd
than
bullshit.
land. More water than land. It's like it's the principle of it. Oh, you can't
I'm
breathe
sorry,
on
what?
the moon. Who gives a fuck if you can't breathe on the moon? That doesn't make like
You're
the
making an
principle of
absurd
it.
example.
Oh my god! And you're telling me you can't understand that example because you can't breathe on the moon?
No, I understand it, but what it looks
Okay,
like to
then
me...
that's it.
Stop,
You understood
stop,
it, so it doesn't
Stop.
matter.
Stop. What it looks like to me is a rhetorical trick to make your argument look stronger than it is by framing my argument
Still am
in
not
an absurdity.
arguing it. Once again,
Okay,
I
well,
will reiterate that
look,
I
man,
agree
stop.
that your definition of free will
So why are you
is
still
impossible to test. First of all,
So
impossible
why are you still
to
talking?
test. If
That's
it's
not what I
real.
said, though. I just don't understand why you're still talking then.
Okay, I guess.
Like, if you agree, If you agree, what are we talking about? Because you seem to be
I mean, I
attempting to
just
give me
said that we're living
counterexamples.
within the. It's not counterexamples. I'm simply.
So then what is
elaborating
it? Tell me what
upon-
it is. It's
I
elaboration.
just tried.
Are you saying it's elaboration?
No, that I live within the constraints of my evolutionary track as a human on planet Earth because that's what I am. Like, just like a fucking
Didn't we
wolf
establish
or a
that?
bear or anything else would.
Dude, didn't we establish that already?
Yes.
So what are you saying then?
What do you mean? What am I saying?
I mean, are you just reiterating the ground we've already covered?
Not reiterating the ground we already covered. I said that because.
But you just admitted we just
when
said that.
When you say think about what the definition of free is, none of these decisions are free, and I say, okay, well, we're living within the constraints of the evolutionary track of being a human being on planet Earth. That is the natural progression of me thinking about this topic. If that doesn't make sense to you, I don't know.
No. It does make sense to me. Listen, man, I asked you a very specific question, okay? I asked, why are you saying it, right? And then you seem not to understand my question. No, but then I asked you if you were restating what we'd already covered. And you gave a confusing answer to that because you did just restate what we already covered.
Okay, what'd you ask me?
I asked you whether or not what you said added anything new.
Whether or not, no, I wasn't trying to add anything new. I was saying
Okay,
this is
so
the
then
way
what
I'm
your
looking
answer
at it through my lens.
So then, yes. So then your answer should have been, yes, I am reiterating the ground we've covered.
I don't believe it's like ground we've covered necessarily.
Dude, is this fucking happening right now? I just don't even believe it. We did. We covered that ground. That's what the first half of the argument was, man.
I mean, all you did was say, think about the definition of free. If that's covering
yes,
it,
that's
I mean, that's all you said. And then when I thought about it, I said that. Like, I don't know what to say.
Dude, I said a lot more than that. I was looking for a while.
All right, what the hell is?
So for my last
I want
question
to debate.
Can you please prove to me some way that it is impossible to have? Well, no, you didn't really prove it.
Yeah, I did. It was a logical proof.
Logical proof.
It's deductively true, man.
Oh, I got it now.
Yep.
Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and join us in the Nameless Debates Discord. We hope to see you there.